present KISED right now?
Yeah, Mr. Park will present.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, do you hear me well?
Yes, right now we can hear you quite well.
Yeah, I'd like to have the Director Park.
Hi, I'm very happy to see you guys by online. My name is Jong-hyuk Park, in charge of Department of Global Startups. Especially Seedstars, thank you for learning program in Korea and hosting the great demo day. I hope all participate, especially Korean startups, will achieve their good result through this demo day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So it seems nobody could hear me before, online at least. So I will make a small intro again, but in a very fast pace. Yes, if it's okay with you. Yes, thank you very much. So then let me, I'll just share the presentation from this computer right now. One moment. So here right now, you should be able to see my presentation. Dear startups in the offline audience, I hope you will be able to see it too. Here it is. So please let me know if you cannot see the presentation. Okay, great. Thank you, Tiffany. So thank you, someone who is sending the thumbs up also as a reaction. So here, a faster version of the presentation. So K Startup Day, Singapore today. Thank you all for coming. We're very happy to see you here. And K Startup Center Singapore was created together with KISED, Korean Institute of Startup and Entrepreneurship Development, just presented by the director, by Ministry of SMEs and Startups of Korea, and Seedstars. A few words about Seedstars. Seedstars is a global community with more than 700 investors in their network, around 70 portfolio companies, and dozens of entrepreneurial programs we're running globally. Yeah. And K Startup Center Singapore is focused on 10 startups from Korea, FinTech and Smart City, and helps these 10 startups to expand to Singapore and Southeast Asia. So we had multiple different tools to support startups, but I will jump further because we're out of time. And the team includes Nat, Anu, Hari, and me, Dash, that's my name. And Wendy and Kevin were our entrepreneurs in residence. Multiple mentors that we want to say thank you to for supporting startups. That's our expansion mentors. And here are our heroes, the startups. And the approximate timeline we will jump through. You will just witness it. And the dear jury, I want to ask you to come on our online stage for a mini panel. And we have 7 minutes less time, but we're still good. And we can start the pitches in around 10 minutes. But right now, it will be great to hear from you, Chia Hock Lai, Howie Lau, Alex, Kim, Mui Hoon Po, our dear jury, about what do you think about the tech industry in Singapore and Southeast Asia, and what do you think about companies expanding from Korea to Singapore and Southeast Asia? Some of your thoughts on this topic. So maybe we can start with Chia Hock Lai, and I will stop sharing my slides.
Okay, thanks, Dash, for your kind introduction. My name is Hock. I'm the co-chairman for the Blockchain Association Singapore and the former and founding president for the Singapore FinTech Association. So I've witnessed how the industry, especially for a tech startup, how they have grown for the last 5 years. Basically, startups should look at 4 key factors. First is access to market, and Singapore sits strategically at the middle of ASEAN, a region of 650 million in population. All the 10 ASEAN countries are within 4 hours flight, which is why Singapore has attracted a lot of tech startups to set up their base in Singapore. Second thing is access to talent, especially professional talent. Singapore has a highly educated workforce. Of course, you can't find all the talents in Singapore, and that's why being located in Singapore is great because, for example, you could get your tech talent easily from Vietnam. Third thing to look out for is really to access to capital. So you would have seen that this year in ASEAN, the first 9 months, 3.5 billion US dollar was raised for fintech this year. And out of that, 1.6 billion from Singapore alone. So if you are looking for capital, come to Singapore. This is a place for you to raise your capital. Last but not least is really looking at pro-innovation policies. So in Singapore, for example, our regulators like the Infocomm Media Development Authority and the Monetary Authority of Singapore has been super supportive of startup with very progressive regulations. Something that striking a good balance between promoting innovation and regulation so that startup has a chance to flourish in Singapore. You will have seen that for MAS, we don't have just one regulatory sandbox, but 3 regulatory sandbox, and the latest one being called Sandbox Plus, a sandbox to support the growth of regulated decentralized finance. So welcome to Singapore. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I see already Hobi Lau and Alex are ready to jump in. So just one more thing, Hock, can you just maybe in 1-2 sentences also present yourself for the audience?
Okay. I run the FinTech and Blockchain consultancy firm and has been very active in the ecosystem, building both the FinTech and Blockchain ecosystem in Singapore and the larger region. For example, when I was the president of Singapore FinTech Association, I struck up partnerships with 60 different organizations across 40 countries. And I'm trying to replicate a similar success for the blockchain ecosystem. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yes, also co-founder of Global FinTech Institute, which I find very impressive. So, and Hobi Lau, do you want to jump in?
Sure. No, first, thanks so much, because I was smiling because Hock always gives such a very complete pitch about why Singapore for startups. But I would just maybe add a couple of points on what Hock spoke about in terms of capital, because there was a recent report done out of the Google Bain and Temasek Southeast Asia Economy Report, and a couple of things jumped up at me. One was that the total amount of capital just in the first half of 2021, I think, was close to about $11.5 billion. So of which that a good percentage went to fintech as well. And I think the other one that kind of caught my attention as well was the amount of dry gunpowder available. I think that report estimated the amount of dry gunpowder available for further investments is 14 billion for Southeast Asia. So, and there's another data point somewhere that says that there's about 150 VCs and angels based out of Singapore. So I think it's exciting times for startups, whether you're from Korea or other places, because there is a good ecosystem and potentially the liquidity that is needed to fuel the growth as well. I think the last point I'll just add is that there was another data point in another report that kind of jumped out at me, in that now in Southeast Asia, there's a total of about 30 plus unicorns, of which 16 are based out of Singapore. So about 40+% of unicorns are based out of Singapore, but there is a growing number, because I remember just a couple of years ago, the number of unicorns was a handful, but now we're talking about 30 plus. So I think it's exciting time to be in this space, and I look forward to hearing the pitches.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, it's quite impressive. So, Alex, would you like to share some of your thoughts?
Let me intro myself shortly. My name is Alex. I'm Korean, living in Singapore, doing business here. I am the founder and CEO of Upbit APEC. We are running a digital asset exchange in Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand. In Indonesia, we are the second in the country to be licensed under Bapepti. In Thailand, we are licensed under Thailand SEC. In Singapore, we are exempted under MAS, pending review. And as you know, Upbit is running a big-scale digital asset exchange, and Upbit APEC is overseas expansion arm based in Singapore, headquartered here. Before Upbit, I was a global business director of Kakao Corporation. I lived in Jakarta for 5 years doing the job. And before that, I was leading search division in the Naver. So I was working on the making search service there. So I had a lot of the challenges when I tried to expand Korean internet companies beyond Korea into Southeast Asia. So I wish I could share some experiences so that it can be helpful for these new Korean startups. Happy to join.
Very much. So, Hoon Po, would you like to share your view on Singapore and Southeast Asia tech industry?
Sure. Thanks, Dash. Yeah, my co-panels, Hock and Howie has already painted a wonderful picture for startups to be here in Singapore, capital, talent, market. So I wouldn't repeat all of that, but it is an extremely vibrant space for startups. Personally, I've been involved in startups for a long time. I've invested in them. I have also run corporate startups. I'm currently building a food tech platform, and that's a startup that I'm nurturing myself. And I also sit on boards, a part of the Singapore Institute of Directors, and Howie, my colleague here, is in charge of startup governance in SID. So something that he didn't kind of say, but we do believe that startups do need some form of governance, you know. So very, very happy to be here, and looking forward to hearing from all of the interesting startups I've saw today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you a lot. So our dear jury, thank you for coming and being here today. We can ask already the first startup Gaudio Lab onto the stage. Jeet and Gaudio Lab, welcome to the stage. So I want to make one small experiment with the regarding the setup. So right now, all the jury will be also here still on stage, on the online stage, okay? So let's try it this way. This way we hopefully will not lose any audio. So, G, let us know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Perfect. Then the first speech, let's give a bit of virtual applause to G. There are also reactions you can share on the bottom of the screen. So thank you very much. G, please start.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm G. I'm a Director of Business Development in Gaudio Lab. Gaudio Lab is an audio technology startup based in Seoul. So current existing media platforms are very much focused in visual side, and sound is very much neglected. But sound matters. And George Lucas says sound is half the experience. Andres Horowitz said audio will be titanically important. They all know sound is important. Apple's AirPods revenue is bigger than NVIDIA's whole sales revenue in 2020. Yes, market also knows sound matters. the conventional audio is not suitable for metaverse. The problem with the conventional stereo audio in metaverse is the sound does not correspond to the screen when your head or body moves. The sound just follow you, and the image does not match, just like shown in the picture. So you cannot have complete experience to be there. So what is metaverse audio then? I dare say it is spatial audio. Kakao Lab has solution for metaverse audio. Kakao Lab invented international winning binary rendering technology to match the sound and the image even when you move your head and body. So you can have full enjoy of interactive spatial audio and have a complete experience to be there. Yes, metaverse is the big thing now. By 2030, the market size will be expanded to 1,500 billion US dollars. And we believe with the software portion 60 or 70% and audio solution royalty rate of 2%, and we are anticipating huge rapid sales growth within 1 year. So we are doing multiple scenarios with our partner Naver. We are providing being there experience to their end users, even in the traditional 2D screen environments. It can be, the scenarios can be varied from talk shows or even small concert for one single artist or multiple artists, or it can be even bigger for the like a rock festival. In terms of audio technology, Kakao Lab is already global #1. Kakao Lab's binary rendering technology has been adopted as only MPEG-H 3D audio international standard. And after competing against Qualcomm, Fraunhofer, Orange Telecom, and Huawei, our technology was adopted as a standard. And Kakao Lab have 12 talented audio experts, and this 12 numbers is extraordinary in audio industries. And even comparing with Samsung Electronics and LG Electronics. Our audio experts have a great number of years experience in audio, so that our technologies are all authentic and our audio algorithms are all made by us and all protected by our own intellectual properties. So let me conclude here. Okay, Kakao Lab, I am not here to raise the fund here. I just want you to remember, if you want to share full immersive experience, full being there experience in the metaverse, you must consider sound. And Kakao Lab is right here to provide immersive experience with Kakao Lab spatial audio. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Congrats. So please, dear participants, dear audience, you can also ask questions in the chat. And if we have time, we can even ask them. But right now, I want to ask our dear jury, who wants to ask the first question to Kakao Lab?
Yep, maybe I'll just start. Thanks for your presentation. Not very clear at what stage is your product readiness and the go-to-market. Could you just briefly talk about it?
In terms of metaverse audio, is already the Naver now is gonna launch our immersive audio within a month. Actually, they planned in October. We're streaming it, but they are still on the beta version. So when now application is gonna kick off in the real life, our immersive audio and the spatial audio will be ready. So it is, in terms of the product, it is ready.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Other questions?
Beyond the Korean market, who will be your potential client?
It could be ByteDance, TikTok. We are targeting TikTok. Those kind of platform. And also who is want to ship to the metaverse platform, all can be our target. Probably current in conventional broadcasting platforms, they want to jump into the metaverse. That can be our platform. And also it can be whoever wants to have a audio, but in metaverse area, they are our target.
Have you talked with Meta or Netflix?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Do you know anyone?
That would be it.
Maybe Alex.
Yeah, we are you can ping me. I'll link you to Netflix.
Thank you very much.
That sounds great. Muhun Paul, do you have any questions?
Do you have competition? Because I know you said you are number one, but is there competition for you? And who do you regard as competition?
Yes, definitely. You are correct. And I said is Apple's AirPod has calling needs at Apple's spatial audio, but they are in the device side. So in the also Dolby Atmos, you have heard of it. They are our competitors. But however, they are not even jumping to those metaverse platform yet. But in 2016, when we kick off our company as a VR audio, at that time, there were 7 startups was doing VR audio. And now there are 2 left. And then most of 5 of them are acquired by Facebook, Fraunhofer, and also like Sony. So they are our competitors, but they are all in-house technology.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're out of our 8 minutes. G, again, a round of virtual applause to you. And right now, I want to invite to the stage the Beo team. And while we're waiting for the Beo team to come on stage, I just want to remind our dear jury, remember to rate and to give feedback in the evaluation document to the startups. I've again sent it into the speaker chat. Yeah. So, welcome, Dabeo.
Can I start?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, my name is Juno Park from Dabeo. So let me start company explanations. We are an AI company. We are interpret and analysis various spatial informations based on AI. It's been more than 5 years for developing this technology, and the accumulate the investment is $13 million. So we are looking for a business partner, not investors. So as I told you, we are AI company, and we are running 2 different platforms for the customers. So one is the Earthside, and the other one is Areas. Earthside is for outdoors. So out of the satellite or drone or airplane imagery data, we are detecting something or detecting the change or something like that. And also we have another platform for indoor, which is Areas. So we are handling the indoor map solution for the final customers. So our customers for indoor solutions have these problems like they want to manage store flexibly and update the information easily for their final end customers. However, currently they're doing 5 different steps. So whenever they recognize POI update, they need to contact the 3 different partners for update. And the partner companies start working. And then send them back their result for their customers. And then provide that feedback. So this kind of conversation have to continue until finalize. And then finally, partner company publish the update. So it takes more than 3-4 days. But after applying the Dabeo solutions, it takes only 1-2 hours because they subscribe our platform. So they just simply log in our platform and update that information and publish. That's it. So they save time. Also, they don't need to hire high-skilled employee for this service, because it's anyone who managing the PowerPoint, they can update the POI information in our platforms. So this is how it looks like. This is a screenshot. So the indoor solution is all-in-one solution for indoor map, and this is vector date. So which means it has very low light size. So it has the low dependency of hardware spec and SaaS platform, and we are providing that information with the API or SDK format. So this platform can be utilized for website, application, and digital signage, and robot. So this is the business reference in Korea. So Lotte World Tower, they have shopping malls or hotels or other facility. So I think it's just similar with the Marina Bay Sands. They are using our map. Lotte department stores, they have like more than 40 stores in Korea. There are luxury full line of malls. They are using our map. So I think it's similar with your Ion, Orchard, or Paragon Shopping Center in Singapore. Hyundai department stores, they have more than 20 stores in Korea. They're using our map. They're also the full line of luxury full line of malls. And Starfield, I think that's the biggest shopping complex in Korea. They're also using our map. Starfield is mass premium malls. I believe it's similar with the Vivo City Malls or Suntec City in Singapore. Simon Premium, that's premium outlet. They're using our map. And also we are attending several government projects. We are attending more than 20 traditional market. I think there is a similar like a Bugis Street in Singapore. So I believe the Davio, especially indoor solution, we are securing the market leadership in Korea. I believe we are definitely dominant players in indoor market. So with this the market leadership, we try to expand the kiosk market as well. So the reason we are preparing the kiosk is the main purpose of kiosk is providing the map informations, and we are providing the map information, but also we are providing other value to the customers. So like customer analytic or other marketing stuff, or content management system, even AI solution, because we are AI company. So we are preparing that, and we are doing the first POC with one of biggest department store channel in Korea. So with this solution, we are trying to approach this category. So this is milestone. So by now, we are securing so many area in Korea. So believe we are dominant player in Korea. And I believe first January next year, we will complete the first POC. And then we will try to enter the kiosk industry end of first quarter or early of second quarter next year. So meanwhile, we are trying to also tapping the other countries, Southeast market. And we are targeting to enter that our solutions by end of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for a great speech. Round of online applause. And dear jury, who wants to ask questions?
Yeah, I would like to know who are your competitors in this particular space. Just now, based on your presentation, I can see that one of your key differentiating factor is the increase in productivity. Is there any other unique value proposition of your solution?
That is one of our unique value propositions. So saving time and cost for the customers. In Korea, there is no other competitor in the market. That's why other channels come to us and ask to apply that solution. But I believe I need to check the other markets as well, because if the solution is competitive in Korea, it can be work in other country as well. So I need to talk to the other countries, the channels as well.
I was wondering so let's say Starfield adopt your solution, right? Then what do they get? What will be your value proposition to Starfield?
We are shorten the working step. So before, whenever they update the indoor map, they need to contact 3 different companies like application, website, kiosk, and then the partner company work, and then come back to the customers, and then provide the feedback. So this kind of conversation have to happen until finalized. But if they subscribe our platform, they don't need to contact the partner company. They just simply log in our partners, the platform, and then just update that information and then publish. So it
I
takes,
see.
yeah.
So
shorten the
meaning
step.
that they can update their map information faster and cheaper way, right?
Yes, they can do by themselves.
I see. So it's a self-servicing the platform for them.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have less time for questions. The picture is slightly longer, but thank you very much. It was a great pitch, and we would like to invite the next startup to the stage. Please, Spring Cloud.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you well.
Okay. Very nice to meet you. It's an honor to introduce Spring Clouds to you. My name is Dae-Seo Gi. I'm in charge of a global business expansion. Okay, Spring Clouds is 4 years old startup company that provides autonomous driving mobility service. There are 3 specific reasons: mobility platform and AD data. AD stands for autonomous driving, and AD system. With those 3 pillars, we've been able to provide a mobility service in Korea. For the last 4 years, we have stacked our own technologies and know-how, so we could provide autonomous mobility service with driverless shuttles. And we have certain expertise in terms of fleet management. And we know that also there needs total solution to run those shuttles. So we have stacked our own technologies with real-time monitoring for the vehicle. And we provide infrastructures on the road. And we provide also MRO services to the customers. Thanks to those experience for the last 4 years, we are preparing to launch big project in Yeosu, Korea. So basically, we've been benchmarked Singapore's Polo Port. Polo Port is one of the massive air robotaxi service. So we benchmarked it. So this coming March next year, you can experience diverse mobility applications with postal services and road sweeping and cleaning water waste, and also delivery services in Yeosu. That one is only possible business in Korea with Spring Cloud full support, but we'd like to expand our business to overseas. We'd like to focus on AD mobility data, because AD data enables secure mobility services that can be transport and postal services and water waste cleaning and even surveillance. So we can provide those data. We can customize it. We can standardize it. So we will build up PC-based, tablet PC-based platform. So everyone can join, share, and even our target customer can subscribe the data from us. Why Singapore? Singapore is well known for SEA hub, but not there just. Singapore is well-developed country when it comes to smart city, but also smart mobility. So we are targeting Singapore to go over to SEA, but also Europe and the States. We have 4 expertise members, business development and marketing, and IT engineers and system engineers. We've been really helped by KISED program, even Seedstars, until November. We will reaching out to our potential customers and partners that can be AI and IT, hardware and software, and delivery and transport service providers in Singapore. So we will update the business model and marketing the business model for SpringCom, the data subscription model. And we will continue meeting partners while demonstrating SpringCom business model. And we will set up liaison office this coming February, and we will start our business from next April. Now we have several meetings with one potential partner. It's a huge company in Singapore, so we will finalize, make it happen in next April. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear Spring Cloud team. So who from the jury wants to?
Sure, maybe I'll just jump in first. Thanks for the presentation. I think same question as the first one is trying to get a sense as to your product readiness, because you kind of described what you do, but I didn't get a sense as to at what stage of readiness are you at?
Okay, speaking of SpringCom, the business data subscription and sharing platform, we launched it in Korea last August as a beta version. We introduced Korean partners, and we are getting some feedbacks, and now we are second phase to develop and update to make a complete platform in the long run.
Got it.
Hoon, Paul, would you like to ask also?
Yeah, there are quite a few mobility solutions on the market. So I'm really keen to understand where is your true differentiating factor?
Right. Autonomous driving, there are a lot of platforms, vehicles and drones and robots. We've been managed level 4 and level 5, which is driverless shuttles. There is no steering wheel. So we know how to deal with it to communicate the control system and AD, autonomous driving system, and there must be some people to handle for urgency. So we know how to deal with it, and we developed our AD system to make it more secure and possible transport system over the past 4 years. And we stored our all necessary AI data so we can make it happen more secure in the road.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we need to invite the next startup to the stage. Thank you very much, Spring Cloud team. While the next startups comes to the stage, I just want to note that there are a few questions in the Q&A, especially from Lian Chang and Peter Hlavnica, but it seems to me most of them are to Gaudio Lab. So maybe G, you could enter via your computer and check the Q&A, maybe answer the questions or write directly to those who ask them. Yeah. So Soinet, please start.
Hello, my name is Jung Park. I'm a co-founder of Soinet. As for Korean government, the cybersecurity is enormous issue. So they made a huge AI investment in protecting systems in Korea, primarily from North Korea's cyber attack. But the problem is that they have to buy more GPUs. You know, GPU is very expensive, so they decided, you know, deploy SOINET, and they saved millions purchase of GPU. Of course, there are many issues around the AI industry. However, SOINET has been focusing on AI implementation problem. Your trained AI is slow and heavy. Then normally you buy more GPU to deal with that. But as I mentioned, Korean government, there are more than 20 customers in Korea using SOINET. AI works just like a human brain. Similarly, the Google TensorFlow, Facebook, now the Meta's PyTorch has a training engine and inference engine combined to do the same thing. We initiated something different. We eliminated the training engine, leaving only inference engine to run your AI workload faster with less memory. That's how our solution works. SOINET is highly versatile and easy to plug in. You can apply to various industries. Using SOINET means feel like you have more extra GPU running in the same machine. Speaking of AI industry, you know there are two sub-markets. One is the training market, and the other one is the inference market. We belong to an inference market. According to JP Morgan, the inference market will be exceeding more than 50% by 2022. We suppose that we can address 10% of it, maybe $5 billion US. SOINET is a generalized inference-only framework. We have not encountered any competitor in this industry. I think we are the first commercialized AI inference-only framework. We dropped everything to harness inference optimization. So our business model is like we claim license depending on how many GPU you deploy the SOINET. We reached more than $1 million this year, and then we are growing fast. This is our team members. We started 3, now we have 20 employees working in SOINET. Also, we established the global expansion team this year. This is a Southeast Asia pipelines we gathered since we started with Seedstars. And then we had a great pilot project with NCS. So, you know, we have tested the AI Go-based SOINET, and it's really impressive with 30 FPS without dropping any accuracy. So this is the feedback we got from NCS. Now we think we need to move this stage to a next level. So we are working on this, but we need some highlight and call out from high-level executives from NCS. This is our numbers. Then we recently we are kicking off. We exceeded 1 million, and we got over 3 awards, especially fourth industry revolution industry. We just got about 9 new customer for more than 10 customers. We just got another one, so maybe 11 customers. So we're seeking investment from the global player like NCS, and we would like to spend our next generation products, which is more like the operation-oriented MLOps. And another one is the global marketplace. We allow any AI customers can download our SOINET, and then they can enjoy our optimized version of their AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you a lot. So, dear jury, who wants to ask a first question?
I think it's a bit interesting to see like inference-only focused AI platform. In case, I noticed that you are looking at Sendit as a potential client. In terms of payment or commerce, what will be your value proposition?
Commerce.
Commerce or payment.
Yes. We are quickly transitioning into perpetual license to a subscription-based license model. So maybe next year that we are working on the global marketplace. It's like a shopping mall that you can download any AI model, which is optimized in SoINet. So you can just purchase this plan, maybe basic plan and some enterprise plan and premium plan, such things that you can download up to, depending on the plan you purchase, maybe 10, maybe unlimited. So that's how we're trying to transitioning into subscription-based model. So every global AI company can easily download the SoINet and can pay in the internet. So that I think that's our value proposition. So that way they can optimize the AI very well, and then it takes more than 3 months to 6 months, maybe a year, to optimize the AI. But with SoINet, they just do it in an hour or so. So that's the we are differentiating ourselves.
Thank you very much. Sorry, we're out of time again for this speech, for this startup. SoINet team, thank you very, very much. It's an extremely versatile solution. And we want to invite the next startup to the stage, Monit Korea, and that is the last startup in the Smart City category. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alina Kim, and I represent Monit Korea company. I'm in charge of overseas business. So Monit Korea is a wireless IoT sensor solution provider. The company was established in 2018. Since then, we have been building the base of our customers. In 2019, we acquired all the needed certifications for our technology. And this year, highlight was a huge project with Korean GN company SK Gas on the monitoring of gas facilities all over the country. So when we look from the perspectives of our customers, when they want to implement IoT technology into their businesses, what they're looking for first is reliable data and stable system. And also the solution must be low cost, but at the same time, high quality. And it must be easily integrated into existing systems, provide integrated control. And some of the customers also require customized platform. And that is what Monit Korea can provide. So we have more than 80 different kinds of sensors and a software platform which can collect the data on temperatures, humidities, vibrations, anything. Actually, we have more than 80 different kinds, as I said, of sensors. And also, customers can get instant notifications if there is some problems happening, like there is gas leakage or water leakage or vibration is too high. So anything. And in addition to the hardware, to the products, we also approach to our customers individually. So when the customer doesn't know which sensors they need for their farm or factory and where those sensors should be installed, we provide on-site consulting. For overseas partners and customers, we also provide online trainings and support in system integration and software platform development, and even provision of data analytics when it's required. So this brings several benefits to our customers. So first, it can be quickly responded to emergencies. And second, it is possible to save energy and reduce labor cost, improve operational efficiency, and create digital twin based on the collected big data. And why Monit? Of course, there are other IoT solution providers in the market, but what differentiates us is that those providers usually focus on some particular field, like some of them produce sensors or chips, some of them do data management, some of them develop a software platform. But what we provide is a full turnkey integrated solutions to our customers, so they don't need to look for each item from different companies. We can provide it in one place. And also, it is always a cost there. So compared to our competitors, if you look at the main areas which we are focused in, it's structural health monitoring, equipment, predictive maintenance, environment, and energy monitoring. Our solution is much less cost, and even in some cases, it is 10 times less cost than others. So we are in many industries right now here in Korea and overseas, from smart factories to smart buildings, smart farms, logistics. On the right side, you can see our current customers in Korea. So on factory side, we provide conveyor belt monitoring, total facility management of all the machinery and equipment, environmental monitoring. Inside buildings, we provide energy monitoring, also all monitoring of facilities starting from water tanks, drainage pumps, pipes. And on construction sites, it can be tower crane monitoring, cement curing, and total safety of workers on the construction site. On the farm, it can be silo monitoring, grain level monitoring, or environmental monitoring. So we have thousands of cases in logistics or cold chain. It's a fridge. It can be machinery. And in smart city area, this is where we see the potential field in Singapore, particularly. It's a monitor of highways, subways, bridges, tunnels, and smart bus stations, monitor of public facilities. And I would like to go briefly through our growth overview. So this year, we made sales for over than $1 million. And among main customers were SK Group, SK Gas, Infosec, also Veolia Company, Hyundai Company, and many others. For the next year, we forecast to increase our sales twice, and most of that will go on the fields such as gas monitoring, building maintenance, and smart factory. And by 2024, we will increase sales up to $5 million. So as you can see, we have been growing steadily for the last 3 years, and we predict that this growth will continue. So now we have offices in Seoul, in South Korea, and in London. And also we have customers and partners in Thailand, in Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Singapore is one of our main targeting markets. So this is our amazing team. We have software developers, technicians, web designers, marketing team. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. And we are looking for partnerships in Singapore. So if you would like to discuss it, please join our virtual table later. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Monit Korea team, Alina. So yes, please, round of online applause. Who wants to ask questions? to the
Yeah,
team.
maybe I'll just start. How do you look at plan for interoperability? Because it looks like you're doing end-to-end, especially interoperability with brownfield infrastructures.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Interoperability, because you do end-to-end, but I'm sure there's quite a number of infrastructure that already has existing sensors, existing platforms.
Well, yes, and we produce actually our own sensors, and as I said, we have a software developers. So yeah, it's our solution created by our company, totally. But also, if we don't have some kind of sensors, we have an R&D team, and we can provide some additional sensors on customers' needs.
Okay, got it.
So sorry, you produce end-to-end every component of your solution. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we do.
So my question is that a good strategy? Because obviously you will begin to see different parts of the ecosystem who may provide certain parts of the solution at a better price or even better than what you can do, right? So what is the strategy to produce everything in-house the best for you?
Well, for now, it has been the best for us, but in the future, when there will be much more competitors providing it for the lower price, we plan it actually to move some manufacturing facilities to other countries. Now we're considering Vietnam, and we have been discussing it with one company with Vietnam recently to lower the cost, to lower the labor cost and to lower the sensor cost in the end.
What is your competitive advantage actually? Because what you provide actually is not really very unique, because I have actually seen a lot of companies that do provide what you provide. So what is your real competitive advantage?
Well, first of all, as I said, it's a variety of sensors. There is no one company in the market who have so many sensors that we have. And secondly, it's a full solution from sensors to the software that can be integrated into already existing systems. In case of big companies like Honeywell system or Siemens, you have to purchase the whole system from them. But our devices can be added onto the existing system, so the customer can choose what they want, particular sensors and particular platform that we can develop for them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So there are some questions in the Q&A, but I want to ask everyone, please, when you write a question, mention to which startup you're asking. Because right now there is, what is the business model? And I'm not sure whether it's the Monit Korea or not. So really sorry about that. But dear startups, just enter the Q&A section, and you can see their questions. And some of them are very obviously for one of the startup, but you can also try and answer some of them. Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you, Monit Korea team.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot. So now we're exactly in the middle of all the pitches. We have 5 startups that have pitched, and we have 5 more. So we're over with the Smart City startups, and now the FinTech startups will come. So the first one being Seedstars. And Ryan, please just start when you're ready.
Hi everyone. My name is Ryan. I'm a co-founder and co-CEO of Seedstars. We make investment smart and easy. Seedstars provides Genport. Actually, Seedstars is a fintech company that provides a crowdsourced robot advisor platform with high-performing backtesting engine and algorithm marketplace. So our users can create their own investment algorithm based on their own investment idea or strategy. So technically, they can make investment portfolio algorithm from like high frequency trading to the value investment or ETF asset allocation. We are providing a very easy to use and smart UI UX service with web page and mobile. And also our service is quite scalable to other services such as direct indexing or Rabbit account or making fund with asset management companies. So this is our core value proposition. We are providing financial low data and backtesting engine with servers, and algorithm marketplace, and order management system with securities companies. So all our services are 100% database service that easily adapted to other asset classes or other financial market in the world. So our users consist of algorithm makers and takers. Algorithm makers are creating their own investment algorithm with their own investment idea. So they are making profit from the algorithm itself, I mean, the investment itself based on their algorithm. And also they can make profit by selling the algorithm they made to other users, which are algorithm takers. So algorithm takers who are not, who is not that acknowledged to make, good algorithms, but they can buy the algorithms at the algorithm marketplace, and they can also make profit with the algorithms they bought at the marketplace. So all the algorithms are connected to the securities companies, and they can connect the algorithm to their own securities account. So this is our track record. DAU is now over 10,000 people. So far, our back-tested simulation is over 30 million, and asset under management. Recently, it is increasing rapidly. So recently, it reached $14 million US, and most importantly, our monthly trading volume is over $1 billion US. So these numbers are, we are top tier player in trading volume in Korea, among other robo-advisor competitors. This is our business model. 80% of our revenue comes from B2C, and the other 20% comes from B2B. But actually, our services are targeting individual stock and ETF investors. So actually, the B2B model is B2B2C model. So it means that almost 99% of our revenue comes from individual stock investors. Among the B2C revenue, over 60% of our revenue comes from the algorithm marketplace. Just like you can imagine that Apple App Store or Google Play Store. So we are charging the commission when people are trading their algorithm itself. In terms of B2B, we have 14 partners in Korean securities market, capital market. It means that in terms of the number of partnerships, we are #1 robo-advisor company in Korea. Actually, those three clients above, they are connecting their own accounts with API or server order management system with Jamport. So our users who has a securities account at those three securities companies, they can connect the algorithm to their own investment account. In terms of revenue model, actually, we are the only profitable company among robo-advisor, actually FinTech industry in Korea. We reached break-even point last year. We are now over EBITDA 30% positive now.
I'm very sorry, Ryan. It's a bit longer. Maybe if it's possible, let's maybe smoothly move to wrapping up the pitch.
Okay. So yeah, this is also we are the profitable company. We are 21 people. All of them are experts. So far, we have raised $2 million as Series A funding, and we are expecting Series B funding in this December. It was all the decisions made confirmed, $4.3 million for Series B, and we're expecting pre-IPO funding within 2 years. And we were acquired by DGB Financial Group, which is one of the 10 largest financial holdings company in Korea, registered by the government. However, we have not changed our name of the company or logo. We will be a fintech startup consistently and pursue being the industry leader in the fintech field. Actually, as I mentioned, our service is very scalable. So we already added Chinese and US stock market version to Genport. And also, we are doing crypto as an asset class. Making crypto portfolio and crypto robot advisor can be a core, and it is not that difficult to add on our legacy system. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I start first. First, congratulate you for being one of the rare profitable fintech startup. I can see that you have good traction in Korea market, but I'm not sure how differentiated you are when you go beyond Korea, because robo-advisor is a very crowded market in many countries. Perhaps you can share with us what is your unique value proposition to differentiate yourself beyond Korea.
Yeah, typical robot advisors are providing only ETF asset allocation usually, but we are not only providing ETF asset allocation, but also we are providing direct indexing service with financial institutions, and also this is a platform service based on technology. Actually, ETF asset allocation robot advisors providing just one-way service by the company, but we are providing the platform itself. This is very unique service, I think.
Thank you very much. So we need right now, unfortunately, each startup is quite amazing here. So I want to invite the next startup to the stage. Ryan, thank you very much. The News Stock team. So and here, let's see, I think it's quite a book. Yes. Welcome to the stage, Mia.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mia from Kodobook. I'm in charge of the global business here, and I'm very happy to use this opportunity today to introduce our company. So our company is a company that was founded in 2019 out of South Korea by 3 ex-VCs as co-founders who've experienced the inefficiencies themselves of managing private equity. Even as we speak, there are a lot of private companies and investors that are facing difficulties in managing private equity due to no single source of truth, lack of unified data formats, and so on, when they are in essence looking into the same data. So we wanted to provide and create the platform and service called Kodobook, which is an easier, more secure, and a safer platform to use in order to manage equity data. As mentioned just now, because the startups and investors, they're looking into the data that is inherently the same, we wanted to kind of stand in the middle of startups and investors to make sure that they don't have to repeat the same work over and over again. So for the startups, we provide an easy equity management platform where we provide full history of cap tables, even when they are very complex and even when there are any secondary transactions and anything. So by using this platform, any stakeholder can stay in sync with the most crucial company ownership data. We also provide equity awards management, so stock options management for not only the startups, but also their employees as well. So altogether, they can keep track of stock options, employees can be more incentivized, and altogether, they can focus further on the startup's growth. For the startups, we also provide a communication channel in terms of, so with their board members and stakeholders, we provide business report updates, agenda, meeting creations, and so on, in order to streamline the traditionally diversified channels of communication like phones, text, emails. We try to streamline that, so simplifying the communication. For the investors, we provide a secure investor portal that shows all investment-related activities. Any fund or portfolio data will be automatically synced into the VC's dashboards and detailed views looking something like this. So all the VC's admins have to do is just sit back and watch. And we also provide analytics and data for the investors so that they can get better insights and understanding on their investment activities. Based on the product, we've partnered in Korea with a lot of legal and financial advisors, also with government organizations, startup communities, networks, in order to create the foundation and also become the hub of startup and investor ecosystem so that it could support our business. And we can proudly say that we have successfully done so in Korea. In terms of the Singaporean market and the bigger Southeast Asian market, we look forward to becoming something like this in the near future. So based on the product and the partnership, we have been successfully onboarded a number of investors and startups across different stages and different industries. And we really, really hope that we could add in more Singaporean logos and Southeast Asian logos down the road. Yep, so in numbers, so within the 2 and something years, we have gathered $20 billion worth of private equity being managed on our platform. We have about 1,700 cap tables being managed, and about 30% of the Korean VCs in Korea have been registered on our platform with at least one of their people using the platform to manage the data. Luckily enough, we have been able to receive support from investors in and out of Korea, such as South Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, and so on. We are a Y Combinator company backed by YC and also backed by Carta, the leading equity management platform in the world. So based on the product, the partnership, the business, the supporters that we have, we've been trying to reach out of Korea. And we've actually found that the inefficiencies that I've just mentioned at the beginning of the presentation actually exists in Southeast Asia in general as well. So we've been reaching out to a lot of startups, investors, partners, and so on, and hoping to close down some deals by the end of this year and to start some pilot programs as well. So if there's anyone participating in this presentation, hoping to partner with us or would like to know more about us, please feel free to reach out. Based on the foundation that we're trying to build, so we want to take care of everything related to every shares issued, from issuance, transference, their corporate governance as well, so that we can create a network that connects all private equity and startups and investors. So our team, just to tap lastly on the team itself, we are formed by ex-VCs and ex-founders that are very experienced as our co-founding team, along with the talents from industry-leading companies such as Google and Amazon. We're looking to double or triple the team within the next coming quarters. So if, again, there's anyone participating in this presentation interested in working with us, especially in the global field, wherever you are, just please reach out. I'd love to have a coffee chat with you. Yep. Thank you very much.
So who from the jury wants to jump in with a question?
If I may, I think Quarterback is collecting very interesting data and the company's network. So what you want to do beyond this with those assets?
Right. So I'm sure most of you would have heard the company called Carta, originating out of the US. So basically, our goal is to become the Carta of Asia, so to speak. So their business model came from equity management platform like us, and then they've expanded into a secondary transaction market with the service called Carta X. So if we could collect the data, help startups and investors build a simpler equity management platform, and then move on to that field, that will be some of the possibilities that we're looking into.
Thank you. Maybe Chia Hock Lai, you would like to?
Okay, I like the product. I'm just not sure whether are you like diversifying into many areas, because like for example, just managing the cap table is, and including employee stock option will be a big opportunity. And if you can go in depth into this, right, I think a lot of startup would love to use your product. Just my view. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And maybe Hoon Po, would you like to ask the last one?
How high do you think is the barrier to entry for your sort of market?
So based on the experience that I've been reaching out to startups and investors over the past months, I'd say that because there's a rise of competitors in the market as we speak, especially in Singapore, there's been a number of competitors rising newly over the past few months. So that's the part that we are concerned about now. But in terms of the other part, in terms of the barriers, for instance, the differentiating factors of legal standards and everything, that is actually lower than we thought. So in terms of the investment contracts or shareholders agreements, stock options agreements, they're pretty much similar across the basics are similar across the countries. So in that sense, the barrier is lower. So I'd say medium would be the answer to that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I would like to invite the next startup to the stage. Thank you, Quota Book. And the next startup is Sendbe. And actually, Sendbe is the one startup that is here online. Let me let Jay onto the stage. Hi, Jay. Welcome to the stage again. While you're setting it up, I want to ask, dear audience, so we have, we're right now listening to the FinTech startups. And I want to ask you to rate Smart City startups. So we will have the audience award too. And here in the chat, you can see a link to the Mentimeter where you can share your opinion. Who do you think is the best smart city startup in this on this speech event, and or whom just you liked most? Yeah, so that's our audience award. Yeah, and please, dear audience, just click the link and share your opinion. Yeah.
Daria, quick question. So I don't have the functionality to share my screen.
Okay, let me try to give you this functionality, okay?
Sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, while we wait, yeah, go Mia. Mia actually used to be my coworker back in SAP. So
Great. Great to hear. So here, I will make you a co-host, and let's see, maybe now you will be able to share the screen. Can you see now whether you have an icon, share the screen on the bottom?
not yet.
Right now you're a host, you have the full functionality. I'm not sure why it is not working. We can have, so on the bottom near the microphone sign, there should be a present to audience sign. You do not see it.
Nope.
Dear jury, you also don't see for yourself such a present to audience sign? So just checking whether it's a general challenge or near the sign, like on the bottom between the smiley face and the microphone, there should be a present to audience sign.
Yeah. I see the icon.
There's
You
one.
see the icon? Yeah, Jane, you cannot see this icon.
Yeah, I only have the video mic, and then flip my camera, and then the chat, and the smiley
Can
face.
you try to make the? Are you from the phone by any chance?
I'm on an iPad.
iPad. Okay, maybe that's the challenge. So let's try the following. Can you please? We'll need to then. We will put you as the last to present. Sorry
Yep.
about that. Can you please? I actually have your presentation, I think, right?
I'll send you the updated one.
Yes, I do have your presentation. So actually right now, let me, I think I can just share it also with you because I already have it.
Okay.
So you will need to tell me when to click
Okay.
the next slide. Sorry about that. Okay, I will now try to present. I'm opening the file right now. So dear audience, please finish rating the smart city startups. Look, we had a small pause as asked for. The link for rating is in the chat. So here, send it, Jay. So here we have it. Yeah, I have the.
Shall we?
Yes, we can start.
Okay, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. I'm one of the co-founders and chief strategy officer for SEMPI, which is essentially a global cross-border FX solution. Next, please. Yeah. Is it just me or is it white? Oh, okay. That's next, but it's okay. So we started off as a mission statement to basically eliminate the inefficiencies of FX cross-border payments. And essentially, currently we're live in Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, soon to be in US as well. And our addressable market is basically just humongous. Next slide, please. And who are using these services is that migrant workers or international students, overseas travelers before COVID were the customers or C2C remittance users versus for payments. There's import-export companies, e-commerce companies, online education companies, online travel agencies, so on and so forth. Next slide, please. But the problem is that even with this humongous traffic, it's expensive, it's slow, it's inconvenient, and the receiving channels are limited to banks. Next slide, please. So SEMPI came in to solve these problems. One of the problems, well, obviously, we're making the expensive fee cheaper, the inconvenient process easier, slow, faster, and limited channels more diverse. But the one thing I want to highlight is that not only is it more cheaper than the incumbents, but is that it's more transparent. So a lot of fees are hidden for banks in overseas transfers, but we transparently basically disclose the fees and how it's constituted. In addition, the slow processing fee becoming real-time through SEMPI is a huge factor because imagine if you're sending $1 million and it takes 2-3 days, and then after 2-3 days, the FX changed. Now you're open to FX risk, but because of the real-time transfers, we're able to eliminate the FX risk. Next slide, please. So we identified 4 key success factors, which is license, FX management, partnership, and technology. Next slide, please. Essentially, this industry is both a fintech as well as a regtech or regulatory technology. And with these 4, we'll go into the details of the license, FX management, and so on and so forth. But with these key success factors, we've launched a C2C platform, a B2B platform, and something called Senda, which is basically an API or software as a service for financial institutions as well as corporates to automate their mass payments for cross borders. Next year, we're launching our payment gateway, which may remind you of something like Stripe, and our card insurance, which is basically our collaboration with Visa. So I'll kind of flip through the key success factors, but next slide, please. Currently, we have C2C and B2B cross-border license for in Korea as well as Singapore. In Singapore, we have the PSA major payment institution license. Next slide, please. Secondly, in terms of FX management, we have an internal in-house developed automated FX hedging system that automatically hedges our internal FX liquidity as well as our customers or clients. And we also have partnerships with diverse financial institutions in order to minimize the cost for conversion of FX. Next slide, please. Third, we have more than 50 plus partnerships worldwide that gives us capability to basically pay out anywhere in the world. Next slide, please. And in the tech side, we have something called microservice architecture, basically a modularized structure so that we can be agile in terms of expansion and partnership integrations. Next slide, please. These are our key members. The top three, Alex, Jay, and Ten, we're the co-founders. And we also have Justin, our CFO. And actually, I want to highlight one thing, which is on the next slide. So this is our Singapore team right now. Actually, Cecile's located in Korea, but she's part of our team. So I'm the only Korean here, but Shu, who we recently brought, or no, I wouldn't say stole, but brought over from Revolut, which is one of the huge unicorns. She's a chief compliance and legal officer who's doing a fabulous job in getting all our systems compliant. And Sean, who's also from Singapore, he's the BD manager, going around doing FI sales and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. So we were founded in 2015, and in 2021 early, we launched, I guess, like a kind of like a testing bed for Singapore and Indonesia. And we've been getting constant feedback from our customers and clients. And 2022, we'll be launching in US as well. Next slide, please. Until now, we've accumulated more than $2 billion worth of total payment volume. And what's more important than that is that our customers saved more than $80 million. So to put this into perspective, I actually did a comparison between DBS and, I shouldn't have said that, DBank and W Company. So if you're sending, let's say you're a startup, maybe even in this event that's sending from Singapore to Korea, and you're sending, let's say, $1 million to your suppliers, compared to DBank, actually, compared to W Company, every $1 million you send, you're saving an iPad. And in comparison to DBank, actually, you're saving, every $1 million you send, in fees, you're saving a Rolex or a 1.3 carat Tiffany diamond ring. I actually searched the price for it. Next slide, please. So while our program here, we have accumulated more than 5 million Sing dollars in the 6 weeks of program, and also accumulated more than 45 clients, which are some corporate, some financial institutions. And in terms of partnerships, some are done, some are ongoing, where we're actively been able to connect to some of the communities as well as companies that can potentially give us help.
I'm sorry, Jay. I just want to ask you to start wrapping up. I gave a bit more time, but still very long.
No, it's done.
Okay.
Actually. So we're saying our target is like that. Next slide, please. And early this year, actually, we've so far accumulated $17.6 million in investment. But what we're doing right now is not to secure funds, but actually we want to take the opportunity for startups who want to expand into Singapore in this event, as well as anyone else, to have a talk with us to see what Tiffany rings or iPads that you can save in fees. I believe. Next slide, please. I believe that's it.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. My email is j@smb.com.
Hey Jay, maybe I'll just start first. I think this market this market is crowded because of the Tiffany rings and the Rolexes that's available out there. So besides every W, every D, every other telco is also going into this space. What is it that within your whole strategy do you think is your biggest challenge?
So I think there are two perspectives. One is that we're not actually, for example, let's say TransferWise or Wise now. Are we competing against them? We're actually not competing against them. We actively work with a lot of the payment companies. So we call it competition, but we're actually substituting the banks, substituting the black market, and making that inefficiency go away. But the second perspective regarding within the payment companies, so there are different corridors or different currencies that each of us kind of have an advantage in, as well as more volume goes back and forth between all kinds of corridors, it becomes a competitive edge in FX management, which trickles down to the cost structure and then trickles down to the price that we can give to the customer. So in terms of competitive advantage, we definitely have competitive advantage in Korea, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam, because we have huge flows going into there, which means that any flow coming out of there, we can do it with no cost.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Senbei team. I want to invite the next startup, Link, onto the stage. So, Jay, bye. I will hide you. And Link team, just start when you're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, I'm Singan. I'm the overseas sales manager at Allink, and we provide NFC tag-based information transfer solution, or as we call it, Next Step. Before I introduce our solution, Next Step, I would like to ask all of you to just imagine that you just walked into a Starbucks. Now you pay with Apple Pay on the NFC reader, the card terminal. But when you want to earn reward, you need to launch a barcode and use a scanner. Have you ever imagined why these stores like Starbucks need different terminals for different services? The reason is, although these readers are expensive, they can only accept information that they are designed to accept. Integration could get rid of these scanners and readers, but it will cost them even more. And that is why Allink is here to provide a virtual scanner and reader solution for mobile services offline to connect freely with terminals without any limitations. Now, Next Step is a white label solution for mobile services to transfer its apps to the terminal, utilizing affordable NFC tags and without integration. NFC function for iPhone is limited, except for Apple Pay, of course. But that is why Korean iPhone users are not able to use their mobile to get onto the subway, to use their iPhone for the transportations. But all our demonstrations use iPhone and its NFC function. I'm not sure why the video is not playing, but okay, let me see if I can work.
Hard to play. Sometimes there are issues with playing video while sharing the screen. There we have quite a system, both offline and online. So yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so I'll just explain how the video works. So simply tap onto the tag and we send the card information to the gate. And it applies for mobile payment as well. Instead of using inconvenient and unsecure QR codes, simply tap onto the tag and the card number will be sent to the POS. And the payment will be processed by the POS as well. And it's not just card information. We can also transfer any type of information. For example, access ID to the door lock, and the door lock will be unlocked. So we provide a solution that allows you to accept any type and any size of information and accept multitude of services under a single tag. Also, we provide better security than the solutions compared to the NFC readers. NFC readers reads the information from the mobile, but Next Step allows the mobile to read the information from the tag and transfer the information to the terminal through the cloud server. And this might be the highlight of our solution. So as I've said before, NFC function is only authorized by the Apple, but using Next Step, any service providers can use NFC service for their iPhone users as well. So only even Apple can only provide a payment service with the current NFC readers. Using Next Step, merchants can accept multitude of services under a single tag. And if you look at the cost, it's pretty obvious. So NFC tags cost under $5 per unit compared to the readers and scanners that cost around $150 up to $150. Our basic business model is to charge 1 cent per transaction to our clients, the service providers. But this is always negotiable depending on the number of transactions and the users. So we already have a $1,000 billion market size just for our core markets, including payment and for mobility and the buyer recognition. So we're reaching out to companies that hope to provide to expand their businesses offline, including payment, retail, and franchise. We're working with more than 15 clients and partners in Korea, and we're confident that we can provide a most cost-effective infra solution for our clients abroad as well. So our recent progress in Korea is that one of our first partners, Mirae Asset, has launched their payment service, Mirae Asset Pay, and is now available at CU, the biggest CVS company in Korea, and in 7-Eleven as well. We were founded in 2019 and raised $6 million so far, and growing in a very fast pace. To briefly introduce our founders, our CEO, Kyung-dong Kim, has huge experience in payment, including designing logic for Samsung Pay and launching Samsung Pay in Korea and Vietnam. Our CSO, Woo-Seok Jung, was in charge of Samsung Blockchain Wallet until recently and provided numerous services for Samsung in Southeast Asia. Our CTO, Sang-ha Kim, has a lot of experience in government projects and developing different mobile services. We also have patent attorney as our director, and that is why we have a solid strategy with our patent in both domestic and international. Thank you for listening, and contact us for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, our Link team. Dear jury, please speak up with your questions. I'd like to start. Very versatile solution. Maybe Alex, you would like to.
Do we have a device dependency?
Our compatibility cover up to Windows, Linux, Android, and iOS. So we would probably say we're compatible with more than 90% of the devices in the world.
What I experienced in another market in, let's say, Indonesia, is that in Korea, like, its devices are quite homogeneous. So everyone uses Samsung or like iPhone perhaps, but in Indonesia we have a lot of different type of Android OS with the tweaked OS. So it's a bit tough to handle all those different type of the devices, right? And for the offline like the payment, the POS tool, it was quite critical to address those diversity of the devices. So I was wondering, what is your?
So as long as the device, the device that accepts the information, if it is linked to network, and if it has the OS, we're able to transfer the information without integration.
Okay.
Thank you. Any more questions? Maybe, yeah, Chia, Hock, no? Questions? Okay, then, yeah.
Oh, this is a very interesting value proposition. I think especially like the potential is great in Southeast Asia, where there are quite a big proportion of population unbanked. So my question will be like, what's your international expansion plan like? Yeah.
So for expansion for Southeast Asia, we are already working with some of our potential partners, including with Legatus CEO Kevin Pang, who is our mentor from KISED program. We're working to provide a payment cryptocurrency payment service offline. And it's a bit early to disclose our potential partners in Malaysia, but we are working with, we're finalizing our NDA with one of the largest POS companies and mobile payment companies in Malaysia.
The other question is that does your solution needs to require both the user and the merchant to be online, or it can be done on the offline basis?
So we need the both merchant and the user to be online to be able to transfer the information.
Thank you very much. So I would like to invite the next startup to the stage. And that's our last speech today. Eisen, please come to the stage. And thank you very much, our Link team.
Can I unmask? So my name is JS, CEO of Eisen. We are an AI technology platform for digital financial services. And then from the Singapore markets, we awarded last year Singapore FinTech Award in the global sections. And then first one is a Swiss Re, is a Swiss insurance company, and the third one is a BNI Mellon. And then this year also participated the AI Veritas challenges to build a responsible AI. So this is the last year's technologies. So the finance market is moving to very high speed, high volume transaction-based financing world. So we need a very special technology to identify some kind of fraudulent transactions. This requires a huge size of processing power in a single minute. So our technology can memory optimized technologies can process the huge amount of data in 0.1 millisecond. We call it as a memory optimized AI chip. And then also this year, we have built reinforcement learning credit optimization. With this system, within this system, no human involvement is required to build a credit decisioning. So we call it as credit autopilot. And then we are building fully autonomous AI operating system in coming years. And based on these technologies, very scalable. And we have recently acquired one of the monopolistic position of Korean e-commerce revenue aggregator. And then also we are launching the battery financing the businesses. And starting from the e-commerce markets that we are managing around the $3 billion of GMV e-commerce data platform. And then we are already connected to the 80 e-commerce malls, from the big one to the small one. And even today, the e-commerce malls are creating. Okay, and then the sellers are sell their products to the multiple malls. And so far, we have originated $720 million of loans through this platform. And then on top of this platform, well, left-hand side is a core data set. And we are building digital lending services along with like financial partners like Deutsche Finance and Cam Capital, which is not a bank, and then also lending capability, but they don't have any internal capability to enter this market. So we are along with that. So we acquired the company in June, and before that, as a $55 million has been originated. Now, at the last quarter, $72 million has been originated, which is a 30% up quarter by quarter. And then recently, we started to initiate the digital insurances, working with the general agency, the sales agency partners, and preparing for IPO in December. And then one of the shareholders are insurance companies, okay? And then they're building mini insurances along with us, targeting e-commerce sellers. And then also we have a very huge and deep data spectrums. So based on that, we are applying for the credit bureau in Korea and targeting e-commerce and small and medium enterprises side. And then most of the sellers doesn't have any financing assistance when they purchase the product. So we are going to launch soon a B2B BNPL. And then with this core data and huge is a very holistic view of sellers, we are growing very rapidly. And full year basis, this year we can originate $300 million. And the next year, with this projections, around $2 billion to be originated through our platform. And then we are doing the same thing in Asian markets. We have launched the Vietnamese operations last year, and then we are rolling out Indonesian businesses. In Vietnam, this year is we have focused on building the partnership. So we have built more than hundreds local data economy partners. And then one of them is a very big and then small one. And then this is the rolling out the product this month. And then pharmacists, they are purchasing the pharmacy in the local market. But this company is transforming that kind of logistics. And then there's a lot of huge financing needs in this market. So we are providing adequate capital based on the data that we acquire. And then also Indonesian markets, we are acquiring P2P businesses. Probably next week, we probably get an approval from the OJK. In that case, we are going to roll out same business strategies in Indonesian as well. So far, up until now, we have focused on AI technologies, which is very scalable. And even what kind of data, whatever data comes that we can automatically processing in, and we build automated credit decisionings. Not fully automated, but is a quite substantial part of the process can be automated. And this year and next year, we're focusing on the data economy scale up. And then 2023, regional expansion is a scale up in the Asian territory. So we are also preparing for the IPO, starting from the Japanese market and US market. And then his team is very good. And then so we are touching the very large, globally addressable market and growing very fast. And we have a very deep knowledges in AI side and finance technology, finance side at the same time. And we are providing a very strong value proposition for the lending side and then also data economy side. So yeah, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you. If you have any questions, please.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned about your Indonesia plan. P2P lending in Indonesia is very crowded and it's a bit murky as well. And to do P2P lending better than others, there should be some additional data points. So in that regard, what kind of differentiating the data do you have in Indonesia market?
Okay, so there are two types of that. And recently, the OJK, the Indonesian government, has stopped to issuing the new licenses in P2P. And then they are cleaning up the process. So acquiring three companies has applied for acquiring the company. One is a Chinese company and local company. And then these two are rejected, and then we are the one that has been approved. And then they are going to manage the P2P within 100. So that is number one. And then number two is that we are entering into the vertical market. In Korean market, we have a holistic view of data aggregators. Like Vietnamese markets, we are selecting the very large and growing and like a vertical market. So in that cases, the data is flowing. They're willing to provide their data to get a credit from outside.
Thank you very much. And the last question to Eisen. No.
Okay, maybe one question from me. Okay, the way I look at it is that your competitive advantage depends on the proprietary data you can acquire in each of the countries. So that might present challenges in scaling up globally. What are your strategy around that, or your plan moving forward is still country by country you acquire those proprietary data so that when combined with the AI know-how that you have, that gives you the competitive advantage to provide loan to the right people who are able to repay.
Right. So for that question, we have a very strong positions in the Korean market. So we are already providing our data and technologies to most of the financial institutions. So when they come into the e-commerce related to lending and insurance companies, we have a monopolistic position of that side. And based on that, we have built a very advanced technologies, okay? And then that technologies can very scalable. However, when you enter into the local markets in the Vietnamese in Indonesia markets, so we cannot play the horizontal the players. So we are working with very vertical level of entering strategies. So that can be one technology, and then two is the very niche and big. The partnership is another differentiator in our strategies to enter that markets.
Thank you very much. So we are done with all the pitches. Thank you, Eisen team. And right now, I want to ask everyone in the audience to click the link. It is updated. The link looks the same, but now it asks about fintech startups. So dear audience, please rate the fintech startups, and we will have right now a short break, 10 minutes. We're a bit late on our schedule, but we'll still have time for networking. And right now, it's a short break for the jury to evaluate the pitches, and we will come back in 10 minutes with the nominations and the evaluations. Yeah. So please don't go far away. Just fill in the FinTech startups survey. Who is the best? Who did you like most? And dear jury, please check the speaker chat. There is a link to a Zoom there. Please join me there, and we will just align, yeah, on your evaluations, yeah. So for the rest of you, please just wait for 10 minutes. Thank you all very much, and see you after a short break. I will pause the session right now.
길지진 않았고요. 30분 정도 이제 요거 취합만 하면은 순위 정도만 말씀드리고 네트워킹 하는 거고 전체 아까 150명도 넘었었는데 지금 이제 한식은 다 보셨으니까 80분 정도 남아 계시는데 이게 지금 메인 스테이지고 여기에서 이 시스템 안에서 한 판 뒤로 가면 거기에 온라인 미팅룸들이 있어요. 그래서 거기서 미팅룸 아마 그 자기 로고 거 들어가 계시면 지금 남아있는 80분들이 이렇게 하나씩 들어가서 이야기를 나눌 수 있는 그런 온라인 공간이라는데 한번 처음 해보는 건데 한번 해봐 주시고요. 처음 시작할 때 좀 매끄럽지 못해서 너무 죄송하고 지금 부담 없이 하실 만큼 뭐 네트워킹도 하시다가 가시면 좋을 것 같고요. 마지막으로 한번 여쭤보고 싶은 게 저희 KSC 전체 이제 랩업하는 행사가 12월에 예정돼 있고 그거에 그 소감 같은 인터뷰가 들어가는데 그 촬영 업체가 오셨는데 혹시 인터뷰 해주실 수 있는 분이 있는지 이걸 좀 여쭤보고 싶었는데 감사합니다. 다른 분은 또 없으신가요? 알겠습니다. 감사합니다.
So, welcome back. Sorry it took a bit longer. We had a very active discussion. So, please let's come back. It is muted. 1 second. Okay. I think the laptop should go. Sorry. So, very happy to announce. Yeah, now it's getting better and better. So, really happy to announce the nominations that, together with the jury, we have agreed on. Okay, here, I'm in the right place. So, let's just start. First of all, congratulations to all the startups. That was really amazing. Dear audience, please give online applause to all the startups, and not only online, yeah. So, right now I want to announce first a smaller nominations that we have come up with to highlight certain strengths of some of the startups. And I will start with the nomination that is called, can one hear me still? Yeah. The nomination that is called Location Intelligence. And the winner in this nomination is the Bear team. So please, let's give a round of online and offline applause to the Bear team in the nomination Location Intelligence. Then the second, another nomination in the Smart City category was AI, Artificial Intelligence. And the winner in this nomination is Soynet. So again, please let's give a bit of applause to Soynet team. Jury was very impressed, and quite a few want to get in touch also in the audience with the team. And the nomination Hardware and Software Mix, goes to Monit Korea for their ability, to mix these two very tough areas. Please, let's give them also applause. Also, we've got lots of positive comments. And the fourth nomination in the Smart City category, Futuristic. The Futuristic nomination goes to Spring Cloud. So also, let's give a round of applause for their autonomous driving solution. And the winner in the Smart City category is Gaudia Lab. Gaudia Lab won both the jury and the audience evaluation. So congratulations, G, Gaudia Lab. So please stay for the networking to meet G and discuss with her and ask her all the questions that you have put into the Q&A. Yeah. And now to the FinTech, and the nomination expansion readiness, expansion speed is given to Eisen. So congratulations, Eisen team. They're already fast moving and is already present in Singapore and moving further to Southeast Asian countries. And we want to congratulate them. And in the nomination, Most Versatile Tech has won A-Link. So A-Link's technology can open doors, can help with payment, and many more use cases. And in the category volume, volume of transactions has won Sendbear with their 2 billion and transaction volume. So please, let's give applause to Sendbear team. And the category in FinTech audience was won by Newsystock. Musistock has won the Audience Award for the FinTech. And Quota Lab is the winner for the jury nomination for FinTech. Congratulations, Quota Lab. Quota Books, yeah, that's the more correct name, Quota Books. So thank you all. That was really great. I want to not to waste a second more and invite you all to networking. We still have half an hour to network. Yeah, more like 25 minutes. And please, when we will close this session, you will see multiple online tables. And each table will have a name and a logo of a startup. And please, if you belong to this startup, then join the table that has your logo on it. And if you're one of the guests, then just choose the table that you found most interesting. And you will be also able to see who joins which table, so you can move freely. If you're a guest, just move, try to check out the list a few startups. So thank you very much. Dear startups, please be online. Enter the event if you haven't yet. And we will, in 1 minute, I will close this stage and we will go to the networking. Thank you all very much. It was a great event. We had more than 120 guests, and it was lovely to have to hear again to the pitches of the startups. It was amazing. Thank you.